This man, Trump, is fucking up my shit, bruh. How Trump's tariff plan backfired. Brought to you by Xevi. If this is the first time seeing me on your YouTube page, go ahead and slap the motherfucking shit out yourself. My name is Booginati, Boogie whatever you want to say, bruh. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what other videos you'd like for me to react to. Let's get straight on into it. Shout out Xevi.
The United States and China are in a trade war. Why, you ask? Because Donald Trump increased tariffs for basically every country, especially China. And contrary to popular belief,
and I'm heated about that. I'm heated.
Donald Trump is doing this for a reason. He has a plan. It's just not going very well. And this is where Donald Trump has a problem. But to understand this plan real quick, you gotta know what a tariff is. It's basically an extra tax a country will put on imported goods to make things more fair for their own businesses. Because if your country sold steel for $3, but another country sold steel for $1, you'd say, ooh, let me go buy from that other country. But if a tariff is added to that other country's steel, so now their steel is $2.50 and your steel is $3, then things get more even. Does that make sense? So again, Donald Trump said everybody gets a tariff. American businesses said, why? If you increase tariffs, then we finna have to pay that. And I ain't gonna pay that. I'm gonna put it on the consumer.
Oh God.
Trump said, okay, figure it out. Next, countries from around the world said, yeah, American businesses are gonna buy less from us. We finna lose money. Donald Trump said, you sound broke. Next, American people said, woo, go tariff. Donald Trump said, that's what I'm talking about. Businesses slid in and said, let me repeat myself. I'm not finna pay that. I'm gonna put it on y'all. American people said, woo, go tariffs. The stock market tanked. Donald Trump said, yo, y'all can't take a joke.
Bro, I put 300 on the video, dog. I was going up 18 every fucking day, dog. And then the tariffs hit. And then the video started investing in AI, dog. And I went down. Bruh, a Honda Yofer lip, dog, cost $150, bro. Before the tariffs. You go to try to buy that shit from China right now, dog. That shit 500. 600, dog. What?
I was just playing. He said, new plan. Everybody just pays a 10% tax. Except for China. They finna give me all that. China said, who finna give you what? Donald Trump said, no, you heard what I said. China said, okay, we give you a tariff now. Donald Trump
God.
said, okay, I'm gonna increase my tariffs on you then. China said, okay, I'm finna just increase. We can do this all day. And boom, now a trade war starts. The tariffs are now at above 100% for both China and America, meaning they can't trade with each other. It's just gonna be too expensive. But here's where things start to get wicked. Like I told you, Donald Trump has a plan. He said, I wanted this trade war to start. See, the thing is, there's a global trade system. The United States and China are massive players in that global trading system.
Yeah.
China is super massive though. They're basically like the Amazon of global trade. They make everything and make it at such a low price. Now,
yes, sir.
It's just good business, but China.
Did y'all see the way China was exposing these luxury brands being manufactured in China but getting stapled, made in Italy?
It does it in a way as to where your country's businesses have no choice but to work with them. It's borderline unfair. That's why there's a thing called fair trade. So Donald Trump's plan is to basically cut trade ties with China. If you can't trade with China anymore, then you must create things for yourself, right? But like economists have said, that's not gonna work for a million reasons. It's basically the equivalent of saying, what if we take Bikini Bottom and move it over there? I mean, nah. For one, there's certain things America just can't make. America can't grow mangoes. You can't put a tariff on mangoes and hope to grow mangoes in America. It doesn't make sense. For two, businesses absolutely do not trust Donald Trump because he's over here sometimes, he's over there. They're not going to move their factories all the way to the United States. He might change his mind tomorrow and then they're screwed.
Honda did it.
So
Honda took the fucking Honda took away the manufacturing companies in Mexico and put them in Indiana. There goes all your hybrids, bro. Just saying. I don't got a fucking hybrid. Mine's a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine, dog. Sheesh.
Nah. And for three, to pull this thing off, you need the whole world on your side. Because if everyone, not just the United States, decides to start manufacturing more in their own countries, decides to start manufacturing more in other places besides China, then China will be forced to say, yo, everybody, our bad, we'll give y'all better trade deals and all that. But everyone hates the United States because of this, adding tariffs to every country. And
Yes,
this is what
sir.
shocks economists the most. They think, why would you ostracize everybody? Donald Trump said, because I want to make America great. The world said, Donald, if you make the world great, then America becomes great as well. Donald said, man, y'all sound broke. I'm trying to race with China and race with China. I don't care. So Donald Trump is playing chess. He's just playing it badly. Donald Trump's strategy is one of power. Do what I want or shut up. China, on the other hand, is saying, oh my gosh, look at this guy. Everybody, y'all might as well just trade with me. The whole world said, boy, we don't want to trade with you either. China said, no, that's fair. But you don't really have a choice. Buy my products or shut up. So the whole world is basically in trade chaos right now. Nobody knows where things are going to head in the future, so everybody just wants things to
Keep
go
your head on a
back to the way
swivel.
they were.
And don't be
Including the
messy like
United
that.
States and China.
Because you
Donald
might
Trump
lose
don't
some
wanna be in
money.
a trade war. That just makes prices higher. It makes people upset. China don't want to be in one either, so they want to
Taiwan.
it out.
Don't do
They wanna
nothing
gas
to
each other up a
Taiwan,
little
man.
bit.
All right, don't
You know,
attack
you get a
Taiwan.
tariff,
I
you
need the
get a
video
tariff.
up.
Whoever
I need the
backs
video
first
up.
is gonna look crazy in front of the world. So I guarantee you what they were gonna do is shake hands and talk it out. How do I know this? Because Donald Trump started a trade war with China in his first term. It didn't go well for Donald Trump again, so he just shook hands with China and they reversed things. But here's where things start to get wickeder. Again, Donald Trump's tariff plan not really working well for him, so he was probably gonna have to go over to China and be like, all right, let's just reverse things, bring things back. But this guy, the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, called Chinese people peasants in an interview, which is a terrible strategy.
hell nah.
Because now you've gassed
the
up.
fuck?
Now they can't back down. China said, what'd he say? Donald Trump probably said, I think he said pheasants, like the bird, pheasants. China said, nah, okay, I got something for you. Posted what J.D. Vance said all over Chinese social media saying, look at what this man just called you. This whole thing is terrible because it's the equivalent of two countries about to fight, but don't really want to. And then somebody saying, man, I bet the United States could beat you up though, China. China's like, all right, cool, square up then. The whole world is going, damn. So now nobody can easily back down because of one dude's big mouth. So the trade war continues until China and the United States can find a way to talk it out without either of them looking back.
Bro, I don't want World War III. If you guys did enjoy, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Dude.